Okay, so which business in GTA Online is the best? Which one's going to make you the most amount of money really quickly? Before we go any further, I'm just going to cut to the chase. The best business to own is the import-export business, because with this business alone, without any help from any other players, you can make 80 grand every 20 minutes. But let's suppose that you've already got that business. So you might be thinking, what should I buy next? Which businesses are worth it and which ones aren't worth it? So in today's video, I'm going to be doing a quick analysis of each business and discussing how it works and whether you should buy it or not. But anyway, before we get any further, let's just assume that you have no businesses and you're wondering which one to buy. So, as I said, the import-export is definitely the best business to buy. And if you haven't got any, I'd definitely recommend buying that as your first business, because if you do it correctly, you can make 80 grand every 20 minutes. So now we're going to quickly run through how this business works. Okay, so basically what you do with the import-export business is you steal vehicles, secure them to your warehouse, pay to modify them, then sell them for a profit. And when I say steal vehicles, I don't just mean steal any car off the street and drive it into your warehouse. You have to start a certain mission, and then the mission will send you to a vehicle to steal. You steal that and then deliver it. But before you do that, obviously you have to purchase a vehicle cargo warehouse. Now the cheapest is 1.5 million, which sounds like a lot, but trust me, it's worth it. It's the best business in the game. And just because it's the cheapest doesn't mean it's any different from all the others. They're all exactly the same. Anyway, when you start up a vehicle steal mission, you'll notice that there's 3 different types of vehicles you can get. There's standard range, mid-range and top range. Now the maximum profit for standard range is 30k, for mid-range it's 50k, and for top range it's 80k. So obviously top range is the best one to sell. But unfortunately, whenever you go to start up a vehicle steal mission, it's random what you get. So you might get standard, mid-range or top range. But there is a way to kind of cheat the system and get the game to always give you top range. And I've made a video explaining that, so just click on the link at the top of the screen if you don't know how to do that already. Anyway, so if you don't own a vehicle cargo warehouse, you simply register as a CEO, go over to your PC, go to vehicle cargo, and then go to vehicle cargo map, and then just buy one. The cheapest is 1.5 million. But anyway, let's just assume that you've already got one. So you want to go to login, vehicle cargo, and then you want to click on source vehicle, and this is going to put you on a vehicle steal mission. And as you can see, for me, it always gives me top range because I know how to always get top range. If you don't know how to always get top range, just click on that previous video link that I showed at the top of the screen. And now you just steal the vehicle and then secure it to your warehouse, and you can sell it straight away. Okay, so we've stolen the car, now we're going to deliver it to the warehouse, and be careful not to crash, because as you can see at the bottom there's a repair cost. The more you crash or if you get shot, then the repair cost is going to go up. And whenever you go to steal the car, sometimes the missions will be easy and it'll just be parked on the street ready for you to take. Other times it will be surrounded by cops or surrounded by enemies, so you might have to shoot them off. Some steal missions are harder than others, and also you might have enemies chasing after you and shooting at the car once you've stolen it, so do keep that in mind. But anyway, we've secured it to the warehouse. Now all we need to do is modify it and then we can sell it. Okay, so now we're just going to sit down at the laptop, and you're going to want to go to filter by range and then click on top range, and then here's the car that we delivered. So we're going to want to sell it to the specialist dealer, so we click export and specialist dealer because we paid 20 grand to modify it and then sell it for 100 grand, so that's 80 grand profit. And when you're customising the car, just do it as quickly as possible. Don't worry about what customisations you put on. They don't make any difference, so just customise it quickly and then sell it. Okay, so we delivered the car to the buyer. We did crash a bit, that's why we lost a bit of money, but 96k minus 20k, so 76k for that. And basically the game lets you sell a car every 20 minutes, so you can't just sell another one straight after. You can steal another one, but you can't sell another one, so you have to wait 20 minutes. But that's basically it. That's how the import-export business works. You can steal cars and sell them, and if you always do top range cars, that's roughly 80 grand every 20 minutes, and that's pretty much it. And that's why it's the best business in the game, because let's say you do this for an hour, times 20 minutes by 3, that's 240 grand in an hour just with this business. So that's why this business is definitely one of the best, if not the best business in the game. Okay, so that's it. We've covered the import-export business. Now we're going to move on to the MC businesses. Now, in total, there's 5 MC businesses. These include document forgery, the weed business, counterfeit cash, methamphetamines, and the cocaine lockup. So before we get any further, I'm just going to say that I'm not going to include the document forgery business because it's not worth it and the profit is quite low. So we're not going to be including that one in today's video. We'll be looking at the weed business, the counterfeit cash, meth, and the cocaine business. So first of all, we're going to start off with the weed business, and I'm just going to go through how all the businesses work. They all produce different profits, but they all work the same way. Okay, so as you can see at the bottom of the screen there's a bar that says supplies and there's a bar that says product. So supplies is simply raw materials you bring back to the business. And over time, your staff will manufacture these supplies into products, which then you can go ahead and sell for a profit. Now, there's two ways of getting supplies for your business. You can either buy supplies or steal them. Now, you might be thinking, why would I buy supplies when I can simply just steal them? Because if you buy supplies, you get a full bar of supplies, which arrives in about 10 minutes, and you don't have to do anything. Whereas if you steal supplies, you only get a bit of supplies, and you have to fight a bunch of enemies in order to get supplies, and it just takes ages. And also, you don't completely fill up the supplies bar. You might have to do 2 to 3 resupply missions in order to completely fill it up. So personally, that's why I like to buy supplies, because usually I do this business solo, which means it would take me absolutely ages to fill up every single business by stealing supplies. However, if you've got people helping you, then I guess you could steal supplies because it won't take as long. But anyway, if you're looking for a more detailed guide on the MC businesses, then click on that link at the top of the screen, and that's my video explaining in detail how the MC businesses work. Okay, so if we return to our business about 10 to 15 minutes later, as you can see, a full bar of supplies has now arrived, and over time your staff will manufacture this into product. Now, unfortunately, a full bar of supplies won't produce a full bar of product. It might produce maybe 2 to 3 out of 5 bars. And that will take about 2 to 3 hours, which is quite a long time. But the good thing about the MC businesses is they automatically produce stock without you doing anything. As long as you've got a full bar of supplies, then this will be turned into stock without you having any input whatsoever. Okay, so with the weed business, if we return about 2 to 3 hours later, a full bar of supplies produces roughly about 3 out of 5 bars of product. Okay, so with the counterfeit cash factory, a full bar of supplies produces roughly half a bar of product. And with the meth business, a full bar of supplies produces 2 bars of products. I know we've got a bit of extra there, but that's because we already had a bit to start off with. So it's 2 bars of product for a full bar of supplies. And again, with the cocaine business, a full bar of supplies produces 2 bars of product. Okay, so the weed business will hold a maximum of 168k worth of product, and if you sell to Los Santos instead of Blaine County, you actually get 50% extra, so obviously you always go with that option. And with the counterfeit cash factory, a full bar of product is valued at 196k, or 50% extra if you sell to Los Santos, so 294k. The meth business will hold 238k at maximum capacity, and then if you sell to Los Santos, it's 357k. And finally, the cocaine business is valued at 280k of full stock, and then if you sell to Los Santos, it's 50% extra, so 420k. So there we can see the cocaine lockup is the most profitable MC business. Okay, now we're going to move on to selling your products, and this is where the MC business has its downfall, because sometimes the vehicles that they provide you to sell your products are just really slow and take forever to get from A to B. On this occasion, we got a truck, which is quite quick, and as you can see, there's only one drop-off, so it's not going to take that long. However, on most sales, you'll usually be given 3 vehicles to sell your product in, and not only that, each vehicle will usually have 5 drop-offs each, so you can imagine how long that's going to take. Here's a prime example of this. So as you can see, there's 3 vans and 15 deliveries to be made, so that's 5 per vehicle. And to top it all off, these vehicles are the slowest vehicle I've ever used for any sale in GTA Online. They are ridiculously slow. And also the drop-off locations are quite far away from each other, so you can imagine it's going to take quite a long time to get this sale completed. So out of all the businesses in the game, I'd say the MC businesses definitely have the worst and the slowest sales vehicles. But apart from that, they are quite a good way of making money because you don't really have to do much. All you need to do is have a full bar of supplies, and over time the game will turn that into stock ready for you to sell a couple of hours later. So, would I recommend buying the MC businesses? Yeah, definitely. I've used them a lot and I make quite a lot of money from them. It is quite a pain trying to sell your products, especially when you get these slow vehicles, but apart from that, it's a good way of making money, so I definitely recommend buying them. Anyway, that's the MC businesses covered, so now we're going to take a look at the bunker, and the bunker is pretty much the same principle as the MC businesses. It involves buying or stealing supplies, waiting for them to be manufactured into stock, and then selling it for a profit. Okay, so you'll notice at the bottom of the screen there's a bar that says stock, a bar that says research, and a bar that says supplies. We're not going to be focusing on the one that says research. That's something completely different and has nothing to do with the business. It's basically where you unlock certain customizations for vehicles and guns. But anyway, as you can see, it's pretty much the same as the MC. You either buy or steal supplies, so we're going to buy supplies. It's also 75k like the MC business is. And now you just simply wait for the supplies to arrive and then they get manufactured into stock. Okay, so if we return to our bunker about 2 to 3 hours later, a full bar of supplies has now been manufactured into stock, and one full bar of supplies will give you about 1/5 of the total stock level, which is worth 140k if you've got full upgrades, or 210k if you sell to Los Santos, just like with the MC businesses. Okay, so if a full supplies bar produces 1/5 of the total stock level, that means that you need to resupply your business 5 times in order to get full stock. So you'll be spending 75k 5 times, and that's 375k. And then the total profit will simply be 5 times what we've already got, which is 5 times 210, and that comes out to be 1,050,000. So if you minus 375k for that, your maximum profit is going to be 675k. Now, unfortunately, just like with the MC businesses, the bunker kind of lets itself down when it comes to selling your product. Because, although you do tend to get faster vehicles with the bunker, for some reason, some of the sales missions only give you 15 minutes to sell your product as opposed to half an hour. So you can imagine it's going to be pretty much impossible to do it by yourself. But apart from that, it's a good business. So if you've got the money to afford a bunker, I'd say go ahead and buy one. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the hangar business, and the hangar is slightly different to the MC businesses in the bunker because instead of buying or stealing supplies and then waiting for them to be manufactured into stock, you start a mission where you have to steal a crate and then you deliver it to the hangar and then you can sell it right away, which sounds great, right? But there are drawbacks though, because if we remember with the MC businesses in the bunker, all you need to do is have a full bar of supplies and then your staff will automatically turn that into product without you doing anything ready for you to sell a couple of hours later. But with the hangar, you have to manually fill the business up by yourself and that can take ages. But anyway, now I'm just going to briefly run through how this business works. So if you sit down and log onto your PC, you can see that there's 8 different types of cargo you can source. And in total, your hangar will hold 50 crates. Okay, so right now we've got about 20k worth of cargo in the hangar. So what we're going to do is we're going to source a crate and then we're going to deliver it and see how much that's worth. And here's another drawback with the hangar missions. When you go to steal cargo, sometimes they take absolutely ages. For example, with this one, I've got to go all the way around the map and destroy a bunch of signal jammers, and some of them are as far up as Palito Bay, so you can imagine how long that's going to take. Okay, so after 15 minutes of flying around pretty much the entire map and destroying each signal jammer one by one, the cargo is finally revealed, so we're going to take it and deliver it back to the hangar. So after all that time, we finally delivered 1 crate to the hangar. Now let's see how much that's worth. Okay, so if we take a look at our cargo screen, we can see that the crate we've just delivered is worth 10k. 10,000 for all that effort. So you can imagine how long it will take to do 50. Although if you've got, let's say, 3 other people in your CEO, then you can do 4 crates instead of 1 crate. But if you're trying to do this solo, it's going to take you absolutely ages to fill it all the way up. And also the profit probably isn't that high. I haven't done it in a while, so I don't know, but I think it's probably just over $1 million. So not bad, but considering how long it takes to fill it up, especially if you're doing it solo, you'd be better off doing other stuff like MC businesses or vehicle cargo. But this doesn't mean that you shouldn't buy a hangar. It's a great place to store your personal aircraft. It's just not very good at making you money. Okay, now we're going to move on to discussing the crates business. And the crates business is similar to the hangar business, but the only difference is that you have to actually purchase the crates and then go and steal them. So that sounds even worse. But in fact, it's actually a better way to make money than the hangar, and I'll explain why later. Okay, first of all, to purchase a crates business, you go to special cargo and then warehouse map, and there's actually 3 different types. There's small, medium and large warehouses. I've personally got 1 medium and 2 large. You can actually own 5 types of warehouses, whatever you want, so you can have 5 smalls, 5 medium or 5 large. First of all, small will contain, I think, 16 crates at maximum capacity. A medium will do 42 crates, and a large warehouse can hold up to 111 crates. So now we're going to move on to getting the crates. So all we need to do is click on one of your warehouses and there's 3 different options. You can buy 1 crate for 2,000, 2 crates for 8,000 or 3 crates for 18,000. So we're going to go with the 3 crates option for 18,000, and although it's more expensive than doing 1 crate, obviously it speeds things up massively, so that's why we always go with that option. So there's a reason why the crates business is better than the hangar, because you can do 3 crates at a time as opposed to 1 crate. Now, another good thing about the crates business as opposed to the hangar business is that the crates tend to spawn quite nearby, because if you remember with the hangar resupply mission, we had to fly all the way around the map and destroy a bunch of signal jammers. But with the crates, as you can see, it's literally just right up the road there, which makes it much easier than having to go all the way up the map and then fly all the way back down to your hangar again. Sometimes the crates spawn individually, meaning you have to pick them up separately and deliver them to the warehouse one by one, which can be quite annoying, but at least they're not too far away. Like, for example, with that hangar mission where you had to go all the way around the map, destroy the signal jammers, only to retrieve 1 crate. Whereas here we've got 3 crates and they're relatively close together and close to the warehouse. So yeah, that's another reason why the crates business is better than the hangar in my opinion. Okay, so we've delivered the crates to the warehouse and the value so far is 72,000, which sounds great, but unfortunately this is just a double money week. So usually the value would be 36,000. So just like with the hangar business, you're able to sell your cargo straight away. You don't have to wait for the supplies bar to be manufactured into products like you do with the MC businesses or the bunker. So some might say that this is better than the MC and the bunker business because you don't have to wait, you can just sell it straight away. Others might say, well, no, it's not as good because you have to manually resupply the business and do it all yourself as opposed to the business doing it automatically for you. Personally, I'd say I do prefer the MC businesses in the bunker myself, simply because you can just buy supplies and then they'll be manufacturing automatically, and you can do other stuff in the meantime, like, I don't know, vehicle cargo or missions or stuff like that. So personally, I do prefer the MC businesses, but the crates business isn't bad. It's not like the hangar. The hangar's kind of not really worth it in my opinion, but the crates business is still quite a good business, and if you've got the money for it, I would recommend buying one. Okay, so what I've done is I've made a chart to help you better understand how the crates business works. So at the side, we've got the number of crates, which goes up in threes. That's assuming you buy 3 crates at a time, like I do. And then you've got the price, so 3 crates is 18k, and then 6 crates will be another 18k, so 36k, and so on. So there we've basically got the price. So the price goes up by 18k each time. And if you've got 42 crates, you're going to be doing 14 resupply runs because it's 3 crates each. So 42 divided by 3 is 14. Then you've got the value. So the value is simply how much the crates are worth once you deliver them. So if you've got a full stock of 42 crates, they're going to be valued at 735k. And to work out the profit, you just simply minus what you spent to get those crates from the total value. So then the total profit for 42 crates is going to be 483k. So that's the maximum stock for a medium warehouse. But if you've got a large warehouse, that can hold 111 crates. So if you were to fill that all the way to the top by buying 3 crates at a time, you'd have to do 37 resupply runs. And in total, that would cost you about 666k because you'd be doing 37 times 18k. And then the total value for 111 crates is about 2,220,000. So then you simply minus 666k because that's what you spent filling your warehouse out from the total value, which is 2.2 million. And then you get roughly about 1,540,000. So that's the total profit for a large warehouse. Okay, so now let's briefly talk about the sales mission. So if you remember correctly, with the MC and the bunker businesses, the sales could be quite a pain because you'd usually end up with really slow vehicles which just took ages to deliver and the drop-offs are really far away. But with this, first of all, this truck is about 3 times quicker than those stupid vans we got with the MC businesses, and the drop-off is only a few miles away. Now, I know that we haven't got a full business, that's why we've only got 1 truck, but even when you get 3 of these trucks, it's still much easier to do than 3 of those slow vans that you've got with the MC business. So I definitely favour the crate sales missions over the MC and the bunker. They're much easier, the vehicles are much quicker, so in general the crates sales missions are better than the MC and the bunker. Okay, so that's it. We've covered the crates business, and now we're going to move on to the final business in this game, which is the nightclub. Now, the nightclub is a unique business because the nightclub will actually produce stock without you doing anything. That's right, there's no resupplying, no buying supplies, no stealing supplies. It will simply make you money without you doing anything at all, which sounds great, but there is a catch. In order for this to work, you do have to own some other businesses as well. So basically, how it works is the nightclub can hold 7 different types of cargo. This includes all the MC business products, which is document forgery, weed, counterfeit cash, methamphetamines and cocaine. And it can also hold crates from the hangar and also product from the bunker. So that's 7 different types of cargo in total. So, in order for the nightclub to start producing this stock, you have to actually own the businesses. For example, if you own, let's say, I don't know, a cocaine lab and, say, a meth lab, the nightclub will only produce that and nothing else. And if you have a nightclub, but you have no other businesses, then the nightclub won't produce anything. And if you own all the businesses, like I do, then your nightclub will start producing everything. But anyway, let's just log on and briefly go through how this works. So, the nightclub will hold a maximum of 360 crates, but you have to purchase full storage in order for it to hold that. And the maximum profit will always be 1,690,000. So, for the nightclub to produce stock, you have to own technicians. You can own a maximum of 5 technicians, and what you do is you assign each technician to collect a particular product, and over time, the product bar will start to fill up. Now, because you can only own 5 technicians, you can't have all 7 products filling up at once. You'd have to reassign a few technicians to collect the empty ones. Now, the nightclub won't produce things really quickly. In order to get it to go all the way to full stock, you have to play GTR 9 for maybe a couple of days. But that's basically it. You don't actually have to do anything. All you have to do is assign the technicians to collect whatever product you want, and they'll just do it automatically. And also, you don't have to wait for your nightclub to fill all the way up to the top like mine has. You can simply sell whenever you're ready. So just to clarify, you assign a technician to collect a particular product, and as long as you've got that business, the nightclub will start producing it. So it works similar to the MC businesses in the bunker, but the only difference is you don't actually have to buy or steal supplies. It just manufactures them automatically. So now we're going to move on to selling your product. And if you remember, with the MC businesses in the bunker, the sales missions could take ages because you might get multiple vehicles, which are also really slow, so you could risk running out of time. But with this, you only get 1 vehicle, which makes things so much easier. And although the drop-off locations are quite far away, this vehicle's pretty quick, so we're not going to risk running out of time. And there we go, we sold it. That took us about 10 minutes, a quick and easy sales mission, and we get about 1.6 million for this. And that's it. I know it's been a long video, but we have covered every single business in the game, and I hope this has helped you decide which businesses to buy and which businesses to not buy. But in the meantime, if you did enjoy this video, then feel free to drop a like, and if you're new to my channel and enjoy my content, then consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next video.